Hey guys, it's James from practiceowner.com. Today I'm going to go through a little training with you on how you can get clients without ads. So if you're a practitioner and you're growing your practice, you may be currently relying on a lot of referrals and networking and that sort of thing, or you may have dabbled in using ads and marketing agencies to try and drive your new patient numbers. But something that we forget in the months and years of doing this is we're actually building audiences right under our nose with our email lists and social media followings. And they're a great way to farm and capture new clients. Because if you think about how you get referrals right now, someone needs to hear about you and see an opportunity for themselves and then typically be introduced by somebody. So what if we could build a system that did that for us, and we could manufacture a streamline of clients into our practice that didn't have us rely solely on ads. So today I'm going to be running you through a framework that I teach my clients, and we've got a workbook that goes with it. So if you want that, just comment workbook below. If you're watching this on Facebook, or if it's on YouTube, there'll be a link, and if you're on our website, there'll be a button somewhere around here that you can click and fill out and get access to that. So what I want to do is show you what this actually looks like and how you can use it yourself to go and get some clients from your existing audience. So the first thing is that, like I said, we all have an audience to some degree, and the longer we've been in this business, the larger our audience is. We're probably just not utilizing them properly. So the first thing we want to do is actually list out opportunities we have. What audiences do we have? Maybe you have an email list. Maybe you have an SMS list. You collect phone numbers on new patient paperwork. Maybe you have a Facebook group, right? Maybe you have a following on Facebook on your profile or on Instagram. I want you to think about places that you already have an audience where people already are interacting with you. Okay, again, if you need the workbook, just comment workbook and we'll get it sent over. Once we understand where our audiences are, we need to organize our audiences, because if we don't, then we don't know what strategy we should be taking to reach those people effectively. So the first is understanding who our hot audience is. In marketing, there are kind of three pathways that we sort of go through. It's like think of it like a funnel. At the top, it's broad and wide, and these are our cold audiences, people that don't really know much about us or even their problems. Then we've got our warm, which is closer to the end goal, but they're entertaining the idea of solving the problem. They're just not necessarily ready to do that just yet. The third is our hot audience, which is people who have a problem. They are looking to solve it, and they're now thinking, who should I work with? All right, those are what we call our hot audiences. And within our audiences, we need to categorize these because the approach is different. So with a hot audience, for example, this is typically, your Facebook following, your Instagram, maybe people in your Facebook group, sometimes can be your email list as well, depending on how frequently you message them. Your warm, might be your email, maybe it's your SMS list, maybe you send them texts from time to time. You've got to think about how often you're actually interacting with these people. If you never email your list, you never text them, then I would probably put them down here in the cold bucket. So when we've organized our audience, we then have to think, well, what am I going to do to actually reach out to them? The concept I want you guys to think about is just like fishing. If I know what kind of fish I want and I know where that fish is, but I don't necessarily know how to catch that fish, my job is to chuck a whole lot of bait in the water and to see what things they actually are willing to move for. Maybe I'm trying to catch sharks. If I put bread in the water, they're probably not going to be that interested. Whereas if I put, a whole lot of bloody chum and dead fish, they may come over, right? So what we want to do is we want to think about, how can I entertain my audience's idea of potentially working with us? What's something that might interest them? And there's actually three things that you can do, all right? These three are different ways that we're able to bait our audience into moving closer with us. So for people who they're a hot audience, maybe they know about us, maybe they're looking to solve the problem, the first thing we do is what we call an LF5, and I'll talk about this in a little bit. And an LF5 is everything to do with a problem you can solve, right? So maybe you help people with headaches, back pain, maybe you help people with anxiety or digestive problems or nutrition. A problem that you can solve. This is the bait that we're going to use for the hot audience. The next here, what we call a value offer. This is a resource we can give away, right? Something that we can give away to people where they're not necessarily ready to jump into bed with us and get into business and work with us, but they're close to looking for a solution. Maybe you're, for example, been watching us for a while. What I'm doing right now is more of a value offer. It's a resource that I'm giving away. You're not ready to work with us, but you want to see more about what we do. This is an example of that. The third, what we call a 9-word, this is this concept of something that we can help with that they may be looking to achieve or looking to solve. Something we can help with. Now, it's different than the problem we can solve, because with the problem we can solve, we're being very direct. And I'll show you this in a minute. With something we can help with, it's more nonchalant. It's sort of like, you're considering getting help with this thing. Maybe I can send you some stuff. Okay. And these relate to the different audience that we're targeting, which come from the audiences we've defined for you already. So now I've got all these audiences. How can I categorize them and then use the best bait possible for that audience? Remembering that our hot audience is people that are looking for a solution, people who are aware of their problem, people who are maybe considering working with us or somebody similar. Warm audience is people who have a problem, they're aware of it and they're looking for information, but not necessarily ready to take action. They're the ones that are having pain and they're thinking, should I do something about it? My gut's causing me problems, I'm feeling anxious, I don't know if it's affecting me enough, I'm gonna look into some solutions, but I'm not really looking at, signing someone, working with someone, paying money. Cold is people that are probably not even aware that they have a problem. They may not be aware that there's a pain. They may be just starting to entertain that idea. I'm noticing that I don't sleep as well. Maybe I should look into this. They know nothing about you and they know nothing about solutions that are available to them. And then we use the specific bait to target them. So let's dig into the next section, which is a bit more about what we can actually do to get people. Because the point of this video, I want you to understand how you can take your audiences and use them to generate clients rather than just relying on one or two sources of clients, referrals, ads, that kind of thing. The audiences that we're developing, how do we put the right bait in front of the right fish so that we can catch them? So underneath each of these, right, LF5, value offer, and 9-word, these are the different strategic approaches. We've got a page to give you an example of these. All right. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail with this. We could spend a lot of time on it. But what I want you to do is have a look at what I've done here. All right. A looking for 5 is literally, LF5 is I'm looking for 5 people who want help with X, Y, and Z to get a particular result in a particular time frame. You would have seen us do it. You would have seen other people do it as a common hook. I'm looking for 5 people. Leave my highlighter out here. I'm looking for 5 people who want to completely eliminate headaches in the next 30 days. So if you, and then I put some criteria in here, comment below and we'll reach out. Great thing to email, post in your group, post in your social media. People will comment, and then your job is to send them a message, understand their situation, and then look to book them in for an appointment. This is basically saying, I'm looking for a group of people who want to solve this problem. Is that you? And then the person may say, yes, that is me. Send me details about it. We've now opened a dialogue to discuss their problem, the results they're looking at getting, and whether or not working with us is going to be that thing that gets them that result. This is for people who are hot because they're in pain, they want a result, and they're ready to take action. The next, being our value offer, is when we're giving away a piece of value. Somebody has a problem, they're potentially looking for a solution, but they're not ready to go, yes, I want to solve it now. So instead, we give them a little piece of information. This is equivalent to, I've heard that there might be a solution for headaches that isn't drugs. Let me read the brochure, right? Let me download the guide, okay? Versus hot, which is, I have headaches. I know I need to do something about it. hey, I'm looking for 5 people who want to fix their headaches. You know what? Now's the time. I'm ready. What do you have to offer? Tell me about it. It's a nuanced difference. So your value offer, quite simply, is what I'm doing right now, right? If you look throughout our Facebook group and websites and things like that, we have resources that we're giving away for people who are entertaining the idea of solving their problems, but aren't necessarily ready to know what they should do next. Another word for this is a lead magnet. And so we can say, want a copy of the nutrition guide I give my clients. They have headaches and want to stop them. So you can take the stuff you already have, that you already give clients, and you can offer it to people in your audience. Because if we're trying to attract a certain type of person, and our clients respond well to the stuff we do, we should really give away that stuff, because that's the stuff that our clients like. And so if we want more of those people, I want to be giving away the things that those people like, right? So I can take that posture guide and I can say, I've got a posture guide for headaches. Do you want a copy? Now, people will, again, comment on it and say, yes, I want this thing. And that gives us a chance to actually interact with them and understand their situation, just like we did in the previous one, except it's a little bit less direct, less on the nose, because this first one, people are actively thinking, I want a solution. Here, they're entertaining the idea of what options they have available. And the more of these we do, the more down the rabbit hole people go with us, and are thinking, okay, maybe these people can help me. I've learned some things. I've built some trust. I understand what they're about. I think that this acupuncture or chiropractic or massage or functional medicine thing might be able to help me. That's the point of this. And again, we've got sort of the templates over here that you can use as different options. The last is what we call our 9-word. I think Dean Jackson or somebody like that, marketing guy, came up with this concept. But basically, it's just a simple sentence, seeing if the person is still looking to solve a problem or still looking to get a result. This is used for our cold audience because it's people who are not connected to us really in any way, or they're out on the fringes and we're sort of coaxing them into the party. They're not in the VIP room yet, but they're on the street and we're saying, hey, come into the restaurant, come into the club, have a drink. And so we're saying, are you still looking to help with getting rid of headaches? If you are, then you'll respond yes. If you're not, you'll respond no, or you'll ignore it. And so when you start getting responses via text, email, etc., with yeses, you can say, how long have you been having headaches for? What treatments have you tried? And you can start to triage and understand the situation and then get them in for a consultation where you can fully understand and then present them a plan of care. So to summarize, we've got multiple audiences already. Our job is to utilize them. And to utilize them, we have to first categorize them so we know what we should be sending those people. And then the third thing we do is, now that we know what we should be, which groups we've got, we look at what we're sending them. Remember, for hot audiences, it's what problem can you solve? And so we said we're looking for 5 people who want a particular problem solved. The next is our value offer, where we're giving them a resource. We're saying, want a copy of the resource that I give my clients to solve a particular problem. And then the third is just a conversation starter, right? What can we help with? So are you still looking for help with X? Are you still struggling with Y? Would you like Z? And if you put these things together and you do them a few times a month and you're cycling them, you're able to keep the conversation going with your ideal client. So when they're ready, there is different levels of offers going out. So if right now somebody just wants resources, they can get those resources, but they're reminded of you, they're thinking of you. When they're ready to take an action and you put out a post saying you're looking for 5 people who want help with whatever it is, they've now been exposed to you, they've seen your stuff, they know that it's good, they're a lot more inclined to take action. So all of the marketing efforts that you put out there are not just dead if no one signs up. You've generated an audience and you brought fresh fish into the pond for you to farm and to nurture. And that's the point of this. You apply this with what you're already doing to generate interest in your business, and now you've got another opportunity to pull people out of the woodwork and get them into your practice where they belong, so they can actually get long-term results. So if this is valuable, if this has interested you and you want a copy of the workbook, If you're watching on our website right now, there'll be a button somewhere that you can click and download it. If you're watching live with me on Facebook, just comment workbook below and we'll send it to you. And if you're on our YouTube, there'll be a link in the description or in the comments, and you can grab a copy of that. Download it and then book a call with our team, and we'll help you to make a roadmap to implement this into your practice so you can hit your goals. Hope you found this valuable, and I'll see you guys in the next one.